Welcome back. We continue our conversation with Agriculture Commissioner Adam Putnam, running for governor on the Republican side. I want to get back to guns in a second, but a related issue. There was a shooting in Clearwater that took place just a few days ago. I want to play you the video for me. Let's play that video now. As you can see, took place outside a convenience store. That gentleman was talking to, yelling, have an argument with a woman. Her boyfriend comes along, knocks him to the ground. And then we see that he pulls out a gun. The man takes a couple of steps back. He's shot in the chest. He goes inside the store. He later dies in front of his 5-year-old son. I'm sure you've seen this video before. What's your reaction to that video?
It's a terrible video, and it's under investigation. And I believe that it is important that we, understand better what law enforcement finds out about the nature of how that interaction, how that exchange took place, and ultimately it's up to the state attorney to make the final decision about pursuing that.
Does it give you any pause, though, to see the man pull out a gun and then to have the man take several steps back and still get shot?
Well, certainly, when you only look at that portion of the video, and when you see that, it puts all kinds of questions, which is why you have an investigation.
The sheriff said that he wasn't able to make an arrest directly in that case because he believed the stand your ground law prevented him from doing it and had to refer it to the state attorney's office. Are you satisfied? Is there any changes that you would make to the stand your ground law in Florida?
Well, generally speaking, I do support stand your ground. In the vast majority of instances, stand your ground laws are used to protect yourself, your family, your home, your property, and I think that that's entirely appropriate. If there are changes that need to be made, I'm certainly open to doing that, but the concept of being able to defend yourself is one that I support.
So, okay, you want to leave that to the investigation at this point, but But at this point, you're not willing to say that that gentleman acted inappropriately in the way that he shot the man.
I don't have enough information about that particular instance. Okay. I actually was with the sheriff at the sheriff's conference yesterday, and this was something that was certainly discussed, but ultimately the state attorney is going to have to make the decisions about whether to pursue charges.
That gentleman had a concealed weapons permit. I know that there is you earlier referenced how you're a big supporter of concealed weapons permit. There's been some controversy as it relates to background checks on concealed weapons that were handled by your office. I want to play a piece of sound let's play the background check sound that we have.
And when I learned that we had an employee who was not doing their job, I held that employee accountable. And keep in mind also that you're talking about something that they never put public safety at risk because that same database prevented them from purchasing a firearm at the point of sale. So Floridians are safe. The individual who let us down is no longer with my department, and I held people accountable. That's what leaders do when you're leading an agency. You discover the problem, you investigate the problem, and you hold people accountable.
So that was from the Fox debate earlier this month. You talked about this was an employee who did not have access to the computer system for one reason or another, and for a year was not running background checks on individuals. And well, go ahead. You want to jump in again?
So this is one of the big misconceptions about this story, and I just want to clear it up here on your show because I know so much of South Florida watches your show, and this is an opportunity to do that. The background checks were performed. In fact, they were performed on 3 different databases. 2 databases which are reviewing for past criminal activity, and a 3rd database, which I was the first regulator in the country to impose on the issuance of concealed weapons permits, which is a review of non-criminal factors that would disqualify you from having a concealed weapons permit. The issue wasn't that the employee wasn't running them through the background checks. The FDLE, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, runs the background checks on anyone who applies for a concealed weapons license, and they share that information with us. Our problem was that the employee failed to act on the 365 names that came back as having had a non-criminal disqualifying offense. After we parted ways with that employee, we immediately dug through those 365 and ended up revoking 291 licenses.
So in that clip, and again here you say it was just one employee. Since that debate, the Associated Press came out with a report finding that there were 48 employees of your office that made mistakes while issuing concealed weapons permits and armed security guard licenses. And second thing that we found out from Politico was that in 2016, the supervisor who was the former supervisor who was over issuance of these things, you settled a whistleblower case with her, or you settled a lawsuit that she filed. She claimed that your office was pushing them to do more and more rather than process applications rather than do the job correctly, and that there was a quota system involved. And she even went so far as to say that there was gross misconduct, guaranteed abuse of the way you handled it, and was told that she wasn't working on behalf of the people, she worked for the NRA. You settled that case with her. Your office paid $30,000 to settle that case. It's more than just one example, isn't it?
Well, you're rolling a whole bunch of things together, but the bottom line is that someone who's no longer working with us could say most anything, and she was able to get a settlement. Of that settlement, she got 10, and her lawyer got 20. So you can find examples of that throughout any business where your lawyers decide that it's cheaper to settle.
So let's break it down. Was there a quota system? Was there a quota system?
There is no quota system.
It seems as if one of your supervisors admitted in a deposition that the 75-day a case a day quota sounds about right. That's a gentleman by the name of Gray Beavis.
There's a difference between having it is not a quota system. There is no required number to achieve, but there is some norm that you would expect someone who is giving you 8 hours a day that they would be able to review the files. In the cases where we no longer have that employee working for us, you're looking at gross misconduct. The employees who said in the Inspector General report, I dropped the ball, I didn't follow up, I didn't do my job. That's also in there. You didn't read that part.
I want to give you a chance to talk about workforce development before I go on other things. I don't want to leave that out. I know workforce development is important for you, so talk to me about what you would hope to achieve with it through if governor.
One of the things I've been very passionate about throughout my life, because I came through vocational education studying agriculture, but our school system is out of balance. It's out of whack in the sense that we're currently telling 100% of our students that if they do anything other than end up with a 4-year university, no matter how much student loan debt, whether the degree they get's the degree they want or a degree that they can use, they're going to be a failure in life if they don't get that. I believe that's flat wrong. My plan, my jobs first plan for Florida, is to put vocational and technical training back into our middle schools and back into our high schools and stop treating our community colleges and VOTECs like a redheaded stepchild. That's how you rebuild the middle class, whether it's nurses, construction trades, aviation and aerospace, or marine. Any number of jobs that need those types of skills.
I only have a couple minutes, so I want to go to health care.
Yeah.
1 in 8 people in the state of Florida have no health insurance. 288,000 children have no health insurance. How would you get health insurance for them? Or do you support Medicaid expansion? I'm assuming you don't.
I do not support the automatic Medicaid expansion that was being pushed by Obamacare.
So how do we cover these people?
Well, keep in mind that Obamacare in Florida has not made Floridians better off. There are over 40 counties in Florida who only have one provider post-Obamacare. That has not increased the number of choices. It hasn't increased access or quality of care.
More people aren't covered now under Obamacare than previously?
There are fewer options to cover people because of Obamacare.
Options are one thing, but are more people being covered?
Well, Florida should not expand Medicaid in the sense that what Washington was trying to shove down Florida's throat. What Washington should do is block grant those health care dollars to the state so that there's a Florida solution. That's not the Kansas solution. It's the Florida solution. And ultimately, you want to have better paying jobs that have better benefits. No one aspires to be on Medicaid. Growing Medicaid is not the goal. Growing our economy so that more people have better paying jobs that bring health care along.
Unemployment is at an all-time low.
That's correct.
So you wouldn't expect those numbers to still be as high as they are for uninsured?
What I would expect is that if we implement my workforce development plans, you're going to bring higher paying jobs to Florida, diversify our economy so you have tourism, agriculture, construction, and other things, and you're going to have better options, more options, and more affordable health care for Floridians who need it.
Should we allow fracking in Florida?
No.
Should we allow offshore drilling off the coast of Florida?
No.
Lake Okeechobee has been a real problem because of the contamination in the lake from many sources, agriculture being part of it. Your family grew up around citrus. To what extent does the agriculture community bear responsibility, particularly north of the lake, for the pollution in Lake Okeechobee, and what have you done about it?
Well, water has always been a passion of mine. Water policy, water supply, and water quality have been issues that I have worked on from the very first time that I ran for office, because I've seen the harm that occurred in my community because you had coastal counties that were pulling water from the interior of the state to meet their own needs. Lake Okeechobee is the beating heart of the water issues in South Florida, and water is the golden goose for our state, for tourism, for beaches, for agriculture, for growth and development, for diversifying the economy. We have to have storage north of the lake. We need to finish the reservoirs east and west of the lake and complete the reservoir south of the lake. We also need to make sure, and this is something I've done as agriculture commissioner, we've bought the development rights on 40,000 acres of farmland that will keep that out of development, out of construction. That's good for water. It's good for wildlife.
Thank you very much.
Enjoyed it.
We'll be right back after the break.